sir. Tell me about what you do.
The main role of a roving officer is scouting, spying, observation of the enemy's movements, and occasionally leading raids.
That sounds like a very exciting life.
It can be.
It also seems to be the sort of life where you need to carry a lot of gear. Did you want to tell us about any of this?
Absolutely. I made this myself. This is a sorting gun, which I've added the stock to with a bronze handle. I also made the sword out of hardwood and coated it in aluminium tape, which is usually used for insulation. And I made the handle out of copper piping and epoxy, as well as super glue and a lot of paint. The jacket was made out of what I assume to be a German jacket from World War II, which I've added bits from other costumes too, and the edgings and the buttons. I got the medals, these things. The wings, the crown. I got them all at the same place at the surplus store in Parramatta, along with bandolier and Sam Brown. And these medals on this side are actually my grandmother's medals from music and dancing when she was in school.
Bit of sentimental value there. That's fantastic. Now, what inspired you to become a roving officer, sir?
Well, I've been meaning to put together a steampunk outfit for a while, and I always had an idea for a military focus on it. And, well, the roving officer idea actually came from Sharp. I was a fan of the roving officer in Sharp who kept taking him off on adventures.
Of course. Thank you very much. Can we have a bit of a spin? Have a look at all the angles? I'll get you to come down to the judges in a minute. So, you've got various test tubes here as well. What do we got?
Alright, in character, they're alchemical compounds designed to increase physical abilities briefly, also known as sugar. They're jelly beans from Happy Lab, and they come in test tubes, which are awesome. They also sell the flasks that we saw on the bloody cardinal.
Right, I was wondering.
And no, you can't have it.
Would you like to give us a few poses, and then we can get your marvellous weapon back and get a couple more with that?
No, you can't have it.
person, and Ivy. A delight to have you. This is an impressive contraption, sir. Would you like to tell us about it?
It's a 98% authentic replication of a 120-year-old bicycle. I've been building them for 10 months now. I've got 5 built. I also happen to have 4 genuine ones that are over 100 years old. I'm commonly seen riding around the streets of Bathurst dressed in this uniform.
Can I come and live in your garage?
Anytime you like.
So, tell me a little bit more about this outfit. Exposed socks, is this the thing that is required for riding one of these?
Yes, it's what people would have used, actually. Pretty close to an authentic replication of what penny-farthing riders used 100 plus years ago.
Could you explain to me, how do you get onto this contraption?
couple of bushes, get up, onto the seat, and off you go.
It sounds like it requires an awful lot of skill. Now, Ivy, come on, we need to have a look at what you're wearing.
Ivy has a put together from various things that she's brought around. She picked up the carousel today. She wears a corset, a gypsy's set of chains, and looks absolutely radiant.
Absolutely. Now, may I suggest, I know I'm picking out all these little tiny things on people's costumes and telling you to go and bother them afterwards, but this necklace is stunning. You need to have a look at Ivy's necklace. Now, was there anything else you'd like to share with the audience? We have a rifle here. This is interesting.
Just a slightly steampunked rifle which I made myself out of a piece of copper pipe and a bit of wood that I had lying around. I put the bright orange in so the police won't harass me about it.
Usually a good idea.
Yeah, it's not worth getting shot and then having them ask questions after.
So,
Take you to make the bike?
It takes me about 3 weeks to build a bike, and that's 3 weeks serious, long, hard days.
What about the rifle?
The rifle, about half a day.
and if people want to see more of these spikes, is there some way we can look you up?
Yes, you look me up on Facebook. I'm in Bathurst. At the moment I'm building 8 more. I actually have a plan because Bathurst turns 200 in May, and I'm planning to have 15 penny farthings on the road around Bathurst with people wearing period costumes. And everyone's welcome to come to Bathurst in the second week of May to roll penny farthings or to dress up and just be there.
Saving that date. Now, was there a question from the judging panel? Excellent. Judges, would you like a close look at that rifle? Excellent. I will get out of the way so that you can give us some poses.
On the bike.
No.
Not on stage.
Do it along there.
Do some freestyle.
No.
Probably not advisable.
Thank you. No, you can't have it.
The headlight is 100 years old.
The headlight is a genuine 100-year-old lamp. That's remarkable.
Also, the oldest bicycle in my collection was made in 1886. It has wooden spoked wheels, wood rims and steel tyres.
That sounds like they got it backwards.
No, that's exactly correct. Wooden spokes, wooden rims and steel tyres. Built in 1886. I have over 70 bicycles in my collection.
Another huge round of applause, please. Next up, I appear to have Patty and Lisa as Town and Arya. I'm going over this side. I'm going to talk to you. You're a little less intimidating.
Hang on.
So,
You have a show.
just a little bit. You're more on my level.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
I said a little. So, tell me, why did you decide to go with Arya?
Well, she's an awesome character. I think she's fascinating, and I think she's going to get more and more, more and more awesome. I'm just really excited to see, because I haven't actually read the books yet, but yeah, she's just growing into a really strong character, and yeah, I just really admire her. Yeah, so.
Now, it looks like an awful lot of work has gone into this. How have you made and this,
Okay, well, it's taken like over 100 hours. The best was the most time-consuming part because I had to sew each strip, and the edging was such that it's a nightmare to do. All the weathering, like sandpaper and airbrushed all the dirt on, and yeah. So.
may I ask, this might be giving away trade secrets or something, what is the vest made of?
Jute webbing from Bunnings.
Now, that is creative. And how about the sword? Did you want to tell us about your sword?
So it's mostly like a PVC pipe warbler build. So I sculpted the pommel and the guard and warbler, and well, I need to remake the blade. It's a bit
Show us later.
It's really narrow.
They want to steal it.
So yeah, so well, the blade was warbler as well, but I want to remake it out of something a lot more sturdy. And it's really tricky because the blade is a triangular shape with curves on each side, and so I tried to create that look.
It's quite remarkable. Please stop her afterward. How long did it take you to make this?
Well, I've lost count because I had to remake parts, and I've just been improving it over time. And so yeah, quite a while.
What did you remake?
It's still not finished.
What did you remake?
Well, I want to just improve on the sword.
What did you remake?
Well, I made the vest all over again because the first one was too long. So that was really stupid. Yeah, mainly that, and I think what else. And I want to remake the belt and leather later because it's just fun. So yeah.
So you've even made the belt to be exactly right.
Yep, pretty much.
And what about you?
He's a prop.
He's a prop. That's his best prop.
I don't know.
So what are you doing up here, sir?
Hunger. Any chickens in the room? You cheap shot. Historical hound cosplay. So I'm a pretty period in the middle of the 14th century. I was here yesterday doing Night of the Garter, but now you can actually see more of the actual kit here on display. Interesting thing about the named characters in the Game of Thrones series, you notice very few of them actually have leg armor. I like my knees, I'm rather attached to them, so this is what I wear actually on the field doing SCA heavy combat. Everything you see me wearing is in fact combat legal. This is not my longsword, I borrowed that off a friend of mine. Mine's back in Sydney. I brought my greatsword and my polearm. If you'd like to come and have a play afterwards, please find us in the medieval village. It is, however, as tall as my esteemed colleague over here. The gauntlets are pretty period to the same degree as well. They are articulated steel clamshells. I made these from a kit. Everything else you see me wearing, except my boots, they're from a workwear shop, I made myself.
And a tip, don't throw yourself at this guy when he's wearing armour, it hurts. So, thank you very much. Could we get a couple of poses from you guys? Sure. Let's get Needle back. No, you can't keep it.
Okay, I had a fencing lesson. Straight and tall, Spaniard. So, hound doesn't fight like a Spaniard. Hound does not fight like an Italian. It's all about the lunge as well. All about ready to go forward like bam. Hound fights like a German. Ready to go sideways, forwards, and then in. Remember, you can defeat him with good Spaniard.
Watch your leg, Hound.
Thank you very much. Could I have a huge round of applause for Aria and the Hound? I'll get you off this way and on the side. Now, again, the mix that we have here today is quite remarkable. Let me invite up the Magi of the car. So this is Lenara a good pun. What inspired you to become the Magi of the Carp?
Magi of Carp, simply because it's a homonym, has two meanings, and we're very short of time. We sort of started this 5 o'clock last night, and finished, well, yesterday afternoon, and finished at 2 o'clock this morning. Sleepers for the week! Under the pretense that Magikarp is a Pokemon, for those that don't know Pokemon, and he has to level up to level 40, but he has the most weakest move of all, which is Slash. Which essentially means he just flails on the ground and does nothing. So once he gets leveled up and gets stronger, then he turns into the badass Gyarados. Gyarados comes in and he's all like Dragon Tail and, you know, Rage Mode and Twister and all the dragon moves. And we're just here to reinforce it. You may pick on us now, but we'll come back and we'll be stronger and we'll be better. Magikarp!
So, how did you do these?
The emblems are, it's a picture that we found that we printed off and painted onto Hessian. Onto Calico. It was then cut out and it's actually finely sewed around the outside onto the actual tabard tunic. And yeah, it's sealed over the top, that's why it's glossy, because we were expecting rain today, which we thought would be our natural element, but it didn't come unfortunately, so we're a fish on land, which isn't really helping our cause.
How about this flag? Same construction? How about on the letters?
Same idea, the letters are painted straight onto the flag, rather than actual being separate pieces cut out. The Magikarp fish is exactly the same as the Gyarados, so painted separately, cut out, and then stitched onto the flag.
We finished the painting at like 1:30.
Yeah, this was like the last thing that was finished, and it was actually, hoops were sewn in the car on the way here. So
That sounds about right.
all was all made,
Sounds like
but
me.
it was all sewn on last minute, and yeah, it turned out alright, I think so.
It turned out marvellously. Now, standing next to you, I've just noticed something hiding under your hat here. What are these earrings about?
Oh, these are my fabulous little goldfish earrings here. Just to go back to where we came from, take it simple here.
Was there anything else that you'd like to draw people's attention to? You got plenty.
The belts there, they were used from scrap handbags and things, so if you ever need ideas to start a steampunk, just grab old handbags in a second-hand shop, rip them apart, and there you go, you got endless leather and strapping. That all works.
That is clever. I like that. I'm taking note of that. So, would you like to give us a few poses? Over there. Are you sure this is okay? Are we safe?
Yeah.
You sure? You promise?
Yeah.
You quite sure? He's coming this way. Everyone takes the link? Yeah? I think I'll trust you for now. You stay there. I have a link and I'm not afraid to use it. Come forward with me, will you, Pig? So, how long have you been dressing up in costume?
Not all that long.
What was your first ever costume?
I don't remember.
Fair enough, I don't think I remember my first ever costume either. Was there anything you wanted to tell us about on this costume? Like those boots, they look remarkable, they look very accurate, but how have they been made?
Well, my mum got these beach shoes and I put on socks and she put this clothing duct tape around them to create this.
see. What about this sword and this shield? They are fantastic. They look very accurate. Your shield looks like it may have been used a little. Tell me about them.
Well, my pop made them for my birthday. And
How about the ocarina? Do you know how to play it? Do you know how to play your ocarina? I'll hold your sword for you if you like. Do you want to play us a little tune? I'll give you these back. And can you give us a few poses? Oh, look out, here comes Gandalf.
Get him! Get him! Kill him! Finish him fast! Finish him off! Not you, him! Hurry up, Link, he's distracted!
Just don't let him talk. Thank you very much, Link. Now, I believe I have Lord Monty and Lady Evelyn to come up.
Like a man, like a man.
Now, Lord Monty, Lady Evelyn, where are you guys from?
We're from Lithgow.
Excellent. Good to see locals represented.
Originally from Ballarat, Victoria.
What's going on with Ballarat? I want to move to Ballarat now.
It's pretty cold.
Now,
That's what I was told, just like
Lady Evelyn, tell me about this remarkable dress, and that is one impressive bustle. Is that inappropriate to say?
Yeah, that's exactly what you say.
Yes, I had the dress especially made for Ironfest this year, and my friend is a seamstress, and so we went fabric hunting, and she hand-dyed the lace and the fabric at the front so it was all the same colour, and she hand-stitched most of it together, so the dress and the bodice are sewn, the rest is all hand-stitched, including my bag.
So the bag has all been done to match perfectly, and
Plastic back then, but yeah, she made everything for me, especially for today. So thank you, Lizzie.
thank you, Lizzie.
And she hand wired every single flower and the feather into my hat.
It is a very remarkable hat. Yeah, how many?
4 layers. I have 4 layers actually, and an actual corset, which is keeping me well upright. And so I can stand for a little while, then I need to gently sit for a little while, perched very delicately on the edge of a chair, and then I must stand again. And I wane very easily.
Just as well it's cold.
So yeah, two days for the craft.
Now, forgive us for keeping on asking inappropriate questions about bustles and undergarments and so on. Lord Monty.
My bustle is real.
All natural?
It's all mine. It's all mine.
Grow it yourself? Like the moustache?
Yes, the moustache is mine. I didn't buy it. I grew it myself. Yes.
It is one impressive moustache.
It is waxed. It's actual wax in there. Keep it accurate. I actually had to trim it. It was a bit longer yesterday, so...
Could be a weapon.
I suppose it could, actually. It's a bit flexible, yeah, but you could probably poke an eye out with it, I imagine.
I won't stand too close then. I'm sure your Lady Evelyn wouldn't approve of that anyway. Now, you've got some... What is this watch you have? Do you want to tell me about that?
Oh yes, this is my Ford watch. This one actually belonged to my father. And when he passed away, I thought, when I dress up in a costume, I will wear it.
That's wonderful. Sentimental things in costumes. Makes me all warm and fuzzy. And the cane and everything?
Yes, beautiful, quite heavy cane actually. It's like a brass head on it, so any ruffians try and take.
So, was your costume made by the same seamstress, or?
No. This is pieces gathered from all over the globe and assembled to create what I'm wearing today.
Which item was from the furthest away, if I may ask?
Well, most of it was from the United States. So like the frock coat, the vest, the ascot that I'm wearing. So it was all from the United States. That was the furthest. Oh, that hat, sorry, came from England. So yeah, that was the furthest.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Can I get some poses from you guys? Now, next up, I appear to have a pair of Crusaders, am I correct? Brendan and Caleb, come on up. Now, this looks like real chainmail, is that correct?
That's real chainmail. It's 12 gauge galvanised steel. Bought from Bunnings and made the rings myself.
So made the rings, knitted them out, all this stuff. Yes, that deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. How many hours went into that?
You're looking at over 80 for the coif, the shirt. I can't remember. I don't want to remember.
That's dedication. So, we have remarkable accessories on both of you. Firstly, what inspired you guys to become Crusaders?
Most overwhelming amount of characters.
Can't argue with that. The overwhelming amount of filthy Saracens. So, where have all these pieces come from? You've got this remarkable number of items about your person.
Well, I stole them from the cops in the end. But in actual fact, it's from different places like pop shops and stuff. Most of the leatherwork was done purely by hand. Bought a big hide, cut it up. The weapons were all made by us, shield. He's the chainmail boy. He sits there for hours making chainmail. I got the manly job of sewing.
Sewing is extremely manly. I like a guy who can cook.
What else do you want to know?
What else would you like to tell me? Shall we let the judges have a look at some of these remarkable weapons? Do you want to run your mace down?
Shield.
Oh, and the shield.
Don't forget his crossbow.
Now, this flag. Can you tell me about the provenance of the flag?
Actually, I can't. My companion over there, he made it himself and everything.
Yeah, I just wondered
One love. That's mine.
It's quite a flag. I'd be running away from that flag if it was running toward me. Now, can we get some poses, gentlemen?
One second, they're on the weapons back.
No, so many basically. I was snowing in my house on this yet, my shield,
Just need a little more. This one?
No, that's good to go. You probably put an edging around it, just edging. That's good to go. I would pass that as an ECA marshal.
This one?
Yeah, definitely.
See, that's the difference here in the weapon, so I'd want the edging.
Different things, mate. You probably put an aluminium window truss around it. I do for my shit.
Thank you. That's good.
That's perfect. A bit of hose around it, maybe that might.
You want a sassy pose as well? Yeah. Alright. Thank you, sassy, our good sir. We know how to sell ourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, Crusaders.
Thank you.
And finally, to wrap us up for today, and I hope you've enjoyed this journey across universes and through centuries that we have seen in costuming, I have one last person, Natasha, the noblewoman. Natasha, tell me about where are you from? Tell me about this outfit.
This is 15th century Burgundian. You can tell that I'm wealthy because there's sable fur and lots and lots and lots of fabric.
I think that one deserves applause.
For the time period, the sheer amount of fabric and the fact that it would take me about an hour to get ready in the morning basically says you're very wealthy. I can afford to take an hour to get ready in the morning.
I'm jealous. So, this belt buckle is quite remarkable. Is there any special meaning to that? Any story behind it?
Broad belts to emphasize the waistline were very much in fashion, so it's basically just the widest belt I have.
Fair enough. Would you like to give us some poses? Scandalous. Now, if I wanted to turn into a noblewoman, how could I imitate you?
Marry a duke. Alternatively, save up. Be prepared to spend a lot of money on fabric, and there's usually a lot of really good jewellery at fairs like this. Go to your local library, look up the fashions, and pick a time period.
So, remind me again, you're Burgundy, the 15th century. Have a round of applause for Natasha. And I think we need another round of applause for all of these marvellous costumes we have seen today. Thank you very much to all of our costumers. Now, the judges will need to confer for a short while to come to a decision, as this is a competition after all. But in the meantime, I might try to get Miss Varia's attention. That this Man of 1,000 Faces competition has been in honour of two gentlemen who we lost recently. recently who have been inspirations to many of us in the costuming community. They exemplify values of kindness, of charity, and of striving for excellence in our costumes and in our lives. This is the inaugural Man of 1,000 Faces. We have the board on which the best in show's names will be placed. Of course, the two gentlemen's names are already there, Justin Costello and Paul Kerr. Shot, ladies and gentlemen.